Well, good morning and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now, I haven't been on for a bit because it's trying to find out things to video. You know, I have a small selection of plants now. I used to have a couple of hundred and now I've got probably less than 100. So finding something to video is getting a little bit more difficult. But today, as you can see in front of you, I've been doing coconut husk again. Well, this has been soaking for about a week and it's had 4 water changes, all in RO water. And I've got a kovachii here, which I almost killed by taking it indoors in the late 2019, I think it was, for the winter then. It actually flowered on the table, and then since then it went downhill and downhill and downhill. It just didn't like it, and it's looking a bit worse for wear now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of this coconut husk, if the water's fine, and I'm going to give it a good soak in calcium, so that all the calcium gets soaked up into the coconut husk. Because kovachii is one of the paphiopedilums that does like a lot of calcium, so I'm hoping that might revive it a little bit. So what I'll do, I'll just test this water and see what the TDS is at the moment. Well, this husk started out at over 900 TDS when I first put it in. So after 4 soaks, we'll see what it is now. If it's less than 10, I think I'll use it. Yep, it's 7. To show you. The light shine. Yeah, 7 parts per million. So what I'll do, I'll take some out, put it in some clean water that's got a load of calcium in it. Well, I've got some fresh water. I've put plenty of calcium nitrate in, and the TDS is, wow, it can't measure it, so it's over 1,000. But that's what I'm going to use. So roll the sleeves up, we'll get a bit out of here. Give it a good squeeze. Put enough in there for what I want. So put some more in while we're at it. In fact, I think it would probably do good for most plants. So we'll leave that soaking in there for an hour or two. Then we'll carry on with repotting the kovachii. Well, I've just noticed the drip system's switched off. Well, it's not switched off, I've just been out to have a look at the outdoor water supply and it's all frozen. So there's nothing coming into here to make some more old water, so I'll just have to use what I've got. But it'll not be like that for above a day, I don't think. But that's what happens when I have the water outside and it gets colder, it freezes and stops supplying my greenhouse. But yeah. While I'm waiting for the husk to soak in the high calcium water, we'll just have a look at a few plants that we haven't seen for quite a while. We'll have a look at this one first. This is the Prince Edward of York, and it's quite big enough to flower. And this came from as just a new growth from the mother plant. The mother plant flowered, I think it's got to be 3 years ago since it flowered, and then it started dying off and putting up a new growth. And this is the new growth, so I'm waiting for this one to come into flower. It's quite big enough now. As you can see the size of it, if I can get hold of the right pot. It's got quite a good leaf span. new leaf coming up in the middle, so I'm expecting that to show signs of flowering come early summer. I've shown you these Delanatis before, and I'm keeping them quite dry in winter for a few weeks. This one at the back was the one I potted up in moss that had no roots on it at all, and it looked like it was getting ready to flower there. So I think I'd better have a look at this. I haven't watered it for ages. But these Delanatis, you can't let them go dry for a while in winter. Well, it's so cold, the heater keeps going on and off, so I've just pushed it off now because one or two people have complained that they can't hear me if the heater's going. So we'll just have a look at this. We'll just take it out of its pot, and I think we need to give it a watering again. And this had no roots on whatsoever. We'll see what's happening with it now. Yeah, it's bone dry. And it's rootless, virtually. That's just anchoring it down. So we'll give it some of that, I think we'll give it some of that calcium. But no I won't. I just give it some water. And because if you put fertiliser on dry roots, then you're asking for trouble. Get it potted up again. I mean, it looks really nice, this plant, but you wouldn't think it had no roots, would you? Now this is a nice Paphiopedilum angel hair. It's a cross between Sinswithan and Sandrianum. So when this flowers, they are absolutely gorgeous. And this is doing very, very nicely in some of the coconut husk I did. It wasn't doing too well, but I put it in the coconut husk, and there you can see it's coming up now with a nice new leaf. So I've got high hopes for this one. And you might remember I got a few Paphiopedilum Farianums from Paphiopedilums, and they only cost me about, I think it was something like €12. And this is settling in very nicely and growing well. They were about half this size when I got them, but they're doing very well now. That's Paphiopedilum Farianum. Now this is one Paphiopedilum I have hung up high in the greenhouse, and this is a big plant, and it seems to be getting bigger every day. The old growth's dying off. This is a new growth, this one, and I've just noticed, looks like it's putting up a new leaf down there. And this is a, what do they call it? Oh, it's a cross between Orchid and Plants. So this hasn't flowered for me before, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Now this is another nice Paphiopedilum. It's a big plant, but I'm not quite sure if I've got the right label or not. It's labelled Philippinense crossed by Lowii, but the leaves don't look broad enough to me for Philippinense. So we'll just have to see what happens to this one. This is one that's never flowered for me before, but I think it's quite large enough to do so. So hopefully come early summer it should be showing signs of sun movement. And here is the species Philippinense, and this has never flowered for me. I got this as a small plant, but it's growing very nicely now. It's in a 2-litre pot, and I do believe that it's coming up with 2 leaves in the middle, which is a good sign. You might not just be able to see them, but they are down there. See if I can get a proper view. It's just down here now, here, where it looks like it's just coming up with 2 leaves, which is a sign that it's going to flower. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for this one. Paphiopedilum philippinense. Well, I've got some of the coconut husk here which has been soaking in that calcium, and here's the kovachii, looking worse for wear. Looks very dehydrated, the leaves are curling under, so we'll just take it out of the pot and have a look at it. I'll take the label out, take it out to its other pot. And have a good look, see if there's any roots on it at all. Won't surprise me if there wasn't. Well, there's some little things starting here, but looks strange. Oh, we've got a growing tip there. And that's a soft root that needs to come off. Well, there's something going on there. You can see there's a new growing tip there. What these are, I don't know. They look like new growth it's been trying to put up. So we'll just get this potted up into this calcium, and we'll see how it goes from there. Well, we'll put some of the stuff in there and use the same pot. And there used to be a way of doing these with coconut husk, which was to put little bits of husk in between, and to make sure it's they're all covered. So I'll just check the leaves to make sure there's no mealybugging or anything like that. Nope, there's nothing there. So we'll just make sure that we get the coconut husk into these leaves properly. I don't think we'd be able to tap it, but we can't do it like that, so we'll just have to, oh dear, come on Eddie, shape yourself. Too deep. That's better. We can always lift it up again, but we can't push it down. Well, we'll see how this goes. I mean, a lot of people love kovachii, but I'm not over fond of them unless you get a very good clone, because if it's not a really good clone, you've got the petals on them. Once they open, they look lovely, but give them a couple of days and they reflex pretty badly. So that's what I don't like about them. I mean, but if you get a good one, you know, with beautiful, beautiful petals on, they're absolutely magnificent sight. Anyhow, that's that one. We'll put that one back where it belongs, and we'll see how it goes. Well, I think that's about all for now, so I'll just leave you with a look of what's still in flower in the greenhouse. That's about it. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd be very pleased if you did so. So until next time, thank you very much for having a look again, and I'll see you later. Bye.